Till now, I hope that the structure of plasma membrane is clear to you. Now, we are going to discuss the functions of the plasma membrane. Right? Well, there are many functions of the membranes, but I have listed a few functions of plasma membrane, that is compartmentalization, protection, flow of materials, then junctions, selective permeability, recognition centers, receptors, carrier proteins, enzymes, electron transport system, endocytosis, exocytosis and movement. So, let us discuss these functions one by one. First of all, it is compartmentalization. Compartmentalization means compartments, means separation. So, this plasma membrane is actually compartmentalizing or separating the cell from the external environment, right. So, how this is happening? As I told you that outside this cell we have an aqueous external environment, and inside this cells we have an aqueous internal environment. So, this membrane, it is doing what? It is separating the cell from the outside external environment. So, it is compartmentalizing. As I told you that the cell membranes are there which are covering the organelles also, right. So, these organelles, they maintain their identity, by this compartmentalization. So, the first and the foremost, you can say, function or the feature of plasma membrane is what? It is compartmentalization. It is separating the cell's internal aqueous environment with the outside environment, which is also aqueous, right. Then we have protection. Well, since it is a covering, right, it is a covering of the protoplast, so it actually protects the cell from any sort of injury, so it has a protective function also. Then flow of materials. As you all know that the membrane is actually allowing the, or you can say it is regulating the flow of materials inside and outside the cells. So, it is also one of the major function of plasma membrane. Then we have junctions. Now, when the cells, they are joined to one another, when the cells, that is these adjacent cells, they are joined to one another in such a fashion, what is helping them? What is helping them in the exchange of materials between these adjacent cells? This is what? This is plasma membrane. So, the certain junctions that are there, because of the plasma membrane, it allows what? It allows the transfer of materials between these adjacent cells, between these close associated cells, right. Then we have selective permeability. As I told you in the very beginning that plasma membrane is what? It is selectively permeable membrane. So, it allows only selected solute molecules to go in and out of the cell. Then there are certain recognition centers. Well, the recognition centers, there are some substances that are there on the plasma membrane which help in the recognition. For example, if you talk about WBCs, the white blood cells in your body. Now, how they can differentiate between your body cells or your germ cells? Means between your somatic cells and your reproductive cells. How they can actually make out the difference? Well, they can make out the difference because of the recognition centers or certain substances that are there on the membrane, right, and they recognize that certain substance and they can make out the difference between the somatic cell and the reproductive cell, right. Then we have receptors. Now, there are certain receptors on this membranes. Now, these receptors are going to do what? These receptors are going to receive, say for example, hormones. They are going to receive what? They are going to receive hormones. And what these hormones are going to do? These hormones are going to actually, you can say, change the structure over here, or they are going to initiate some reaction. For example, if we talk about adenylate cyclase. Now, what does this adenylate cyclase does? It actually forms cyclic AMP from ATP. If we talk about enzyme adenylate cyclase, what does this do? It converts ATP into cyclic AMP, right? And this cyclic AMP, it is going to further trigger certain reactions. It is going to further trigger certain reaction. So, this is how these receptors are there which are going to receive the molecules which can actually trigger a change. For example, I told you we have an enzyme that is adenylate cyclase which converts ATP into cyclic AMP, and this further triggers a series of reactions that goes inside the cell and the changes they took place. So we have WBCs, which recognize the body cells or the somatic cells and reproductive cell based on what? The recognition centers that are there on the membrane, or the substances that are there on the membrane. Then we have these receptors. Well, I told you these receptors can receive hormones, they can receive certain enzymes also. I have given an example of the enzyme that is adenylate cyclase. What does it do? So these are also the important function of plasma membrane. Then we have the carrier proteins. These carrier proteins are also there. We have discussed in the structure. So they also help in the transport of the polar molecules or very big molecules. Then we have enzymes. Certain enzymes are there that are there in the plasma membrane itself. For example, we have ATPase. We have ATPase. Then we also have esterase. Then we also have phosphatase. So certain enzymes are there, in the plasma membrane which also help in certain reactions. Then we have electron transport system. If we talk about the membrane, for example, the thylakoids of chloroplast, then the electron transport system is going on in there. So electron transport system also forms an important, you can say, function or feature of these membranes. Then we have endocytosis, exocytosis. You already know when there is bulk, secretion of certain substances or, bulk intake of certain substances, the plasma membrane has a feature to perform, that is endocytosis and exocytosis. When we talk about the secretion of, for example, okay, I'll explain you. For example, we have a cell and we have a hormone. For example, it is a pancreatic cell, it is going to secrete the hormone, that is insulin. So this insulin, it is going to be secreted in the form of what? In the form of a vesicle. So the vesicle has a membrane. So this membrane of the vesicle is going to fuse with the what? It is going to fuse with the membrane of this, the cell. Then this is going to be secreted out. So this process is known as what? It is known as endocytosis. Sorry, it is known as exocytosis. In a similar way, when the materials are going to be taken inside the cell in this bulk form, we call it as endocytosis. We call it as endocytosis. So this is how plasma membrane, it actually participates in exocytosis and endocytosis. Then we talk about the movement. If we talk about amoeba, I'm just trying to explain you something. These are the undulations of the membrane, these are the projections of the membrane, you can say. So the membrane is actually helping the amoeba to what? To move with the help of what? We call it as pseudopodia, right? We call it as pseudopodia. So the plasma membrane actually is helping in movement of the organism also in case of unicellular organism, that is amoeba, in which there is pseudopodia. So let's summarize the function of the plasma membrane. First of all, compartmentalizing, that is separation of the external environment from the internal environment, then protection from any injury, then flow of materials, because it's selectively permeable, it actually allows selected materials to go in and out of the cell. Then we have certain junctions, right? We have certain junctions also which help in the, you can say, flow of materials in the nearby cells, in the adjacent cells. So this forms a junction here. From this junction, that is because of the plasma membrane, the material flow can take place between what? Between the adjacent cells also. Then we have discussed about selective permeability. Then we have certain recognition centers that are going to recognize what? Recognize whether, for example, WBCs will recognize whether the cells are the somatic cells or the germ cells of a body. Then we have receptors which are going to receive the hormone or the enzyme. I have given an example of this adenylate cyclase. It converts ATP into what? Cyclic AMP, which further triggers certain reactions in the cell. Then we have carrier proteins that also allow the exchange of materials. The materials that are polar or very big molecules, they can go inside because of this carrier proteins. Then we have enzymes, right? For example, I told you we have ATPase, esterase, phosphatase. Then in the membrane of certain organelles, for example thylakoids of chloroplast, we have electron transport system that goes on and on, right? Then they also perform the important function, that is endocytosis and exocytosis. For example, I told you pancreatic cells are going to secrete the hormone, that is insulin. So it is going to be secreted out by the process that we call as what? Exocytosis. And in bulk, if some material is going to enter by endocytosis. Then in certain organisms, for example unicellular amoeba, the membrane is going to help to form pseudopodia, which is going to help in movement of the organism. So these are the few functions that we have discussed about plasma membrane. So there are many. It's a very, very important part of a cell, which is basically, you can say forming compartment. It is going to differentiate from the internal environment and the external environment, which are both aqueous in us. So you can also make out that the functions of plasma membrane cannot be summarized in just these 13 points. You need to elaborate them, you need to actually understand. So by understanding the structure, I hope till now you have a fair idea of this, and you can actually have more points that are linked with the functions of plasma membrane as a whole. So at this stage, I hope that these 13 points which we have discussed as functions of the membrane, they are clear to you.